Welcome to Mars Venus Coaching. I am your gender intelligence coach, Clay Smith. I want to start off by wishing you a very happy new year. This moment is often described as a blank slate, a new chapter that has not yet been written. In theory, that sounds inspiring, but in practice, the new year is often followed by something far less elegant: those dreaded New Year's resolutions. In today's episode, we will explore why real change doesn't begin with New Year's resolutions, it begins with identity. When you clearly define the main pillars of your life, growth becomes intentional, sustainable, and aligned with the person you want to be. Let's slow this process down and walk through each of these pillars with clarity, because together they form the very foundation of what I call your ideal life. In my professional opinion, New Year's resolutions are deeply flawed, not because growth is a bad idea, but because guilt is a terrible foundation for change. Most resolutions are born out of regret rather than vision. You see, after 4 to 6 weeks of indulgence, inactivity, and emotional coping from the holidays, people attempt to offset that guilt by promising future discipline. That sounds responsible, but rarely lasts. Research consistently shows that these intentions decay quickly. Nearly a fourth of New Year's resolutions are abandoned within the first week of January. And by the end of the month, almost half are gone. Well into February, 80% of the changes you resolved to make are forgotten about altogether. Now, that doesn't mean that people don't want to grow. It means they're utilizing an inactive system for helping them do so. You see, without clarity and planning and accountability, big goals feel impressive, but remain abstract. They inspire briefly, but quietly dissolve. Now, this may sound contradictory coming from someone who's always talking about personal growth and development. So let me be clear: movement is inevitable. The law of impermanence states that everything is in a constant state of motion. And if you're not actively growing, you're drifting towards decay. The truth is that growth is starting with New Year's resolutions. It begins with identity. Rather than asking yourself, what am I going to do in the new year? A far more powerful question is, who do I want to become a year from now? I want you to imagine yourself as the main character in your ideal life. Not a vague improvement of who you want to be, but a lived, embodied version of you 1 year from today. The word ideal refers to something that is optimally suited for a particular purpose or season of life. It represents a clear vision of the best possible version of something. Not a demand for perfection, but rather a meaningful standard to move forward, even if that standard or vision isn't 100% fully realized. An ideal functions as a guiding model of excellence. It brings shape to our intentions and offers a reference point for our decision making. Rather than describing where you should arrive, it clarifies the directions your choices are making. So when we think about an ideal life, we're not merely chasing flawlessness, we're defining what the best looks like, creating a conscious picture that helps align those daily decisions with the person we're becoming. With that understanding of ideal as more of a direction rather than perfection. Each pillar invites us to clarify what an ideal foundation looks like in each of these areas of life. So I'd like you to pause this episode in between each pillar that we discuss and grab a pen and paper and write down your version of what an ideal life looks like. So as we go through these 10 pillars, I'm going to briefly describe what it is it looks like, but then offer several specifics and characteristics to bring about a bigger vision. So let's begin assembling this first pillar in your ideal life. The first pillar consists of your personal growth and character. A year from now, how do you want to show up internally? Are you more disciplined, more proactive, more emotionally regulated? Do you respond more thoughtfully as opposed to defensively? Does your daily decisions align more consistently with your values rather than your moods? Personal growth isn't about perfection. It's becoming someone that you can trust, developing self-efficacy. So take a moment and reflect on the type of person you want to become a year from now. Write down those qualities as you compose your ideal life. The second pillar is centered around discovering what your health and physical vitality look like. Picture your relationship with movement. This isn't about extremes, but more so about consistency. Do you see yourself going to the gym more often, doing some weightlifting classes, or perhaps taking longer evening walks? Can you see yourself feeling stronger, more capable, more energized in your body? Perhaps your vision includes training for something challenging, like a race or a long hike. Maybe it simply means honoring your body with regular movement and recovery. Whatever lifestyle habits centered around physical activity that you can envision for yourself in the new year, write it down. Now, consider your relationship with food. What does nourishment look like in your ideal life? Are you choosing foods that nourish energy and longevity rather than emotional numbing? Do you eat with more intention instead of impulse? After a meal, does your body feel more fueled rather than burdened? Take those daily dieting lifestyle habits that you want to emulate and write those details down in your ideal life. Now, the third pillar is to consider where you want your career, work, or business to be a year from now. Are you still in that same role? And if so, is that by decision or by default? Does your work align more closely with your strengths and your values? Do you experience a greater sense of purpose or contribution or pride in what you do? For some, this vision includes building a business gradually and sustainably. For others, it might include changing fields, going back to school and getting that degree, finally pursuing a long delayed goal. Career satisfaction isn't about status, it's more so about congruence. A year from now, did you want to say that you went and got that promotion at work? Did you want to say that you finally worked out that remote only position to better accommodate your preferences? Compile those details associated with how you earn a living in your ideal life. Remember, the more details that you can envision, the higher probability that you will actualize those in your ideal career, work, or business. Now, the fourth pillar is built on your financial stewardship. What does your relationship with money look like a year from now? Is it still reactive or fearful, or more intentional and structured? Do you see yourself budgeting more regularly or just living below your means? Is your emergency fund where you want it to be? Are your savings accounts and investments slowly but steadily growing? How much do you have in those accounts a year from now? By the end of the year, have you paid off a significant amount of debt or maybe achieved a debt free lifestyle? Consider how you communicate with your spouse or partner regarding finances. Between the two of you, is there more transparency, teamwork, shared vision, rather than avoidance and tension? Financial clarity creates emotional safety. And in a relationship, that emotional support is everything. Take those financial achievements that you would like to realize and write those down in your ideal life list. Now, the fifth pillar rests on a foundation of close relationships. How are things looking at home, with the family, friends, other close relationships? Picture your ideal rhythm with your family. Are you spending more intentional quality time together? Do meals feel more connected? Do conversations feel less rushed or distracted? Perhaps this includes repairing a long strained relationship or reestablishing some healthy boundaries in another. Healthy family dynamics are built through presence, not perfection. Jot down those desired dynamics that you wish to achieve in the year ahead. Now, as you continue to envision your ideal life, the sixth pillar centers around the kind of relationship you would like with your children. Not just the relationship today, but years down the road. Ask yourself, how emotionally safe and connected does my home feel to those who live inside it? Oftentimes, this requires being more present with them. Do your kids see you as approachable, supportive, and consistent? Now, compare those answers with reality and ask them, hey, do I feel approachable? Do you feel connected? Is there anything I can do to support you? Put those qualities down in your ideal life. And if you're parenting with a partner, consider whether you're aligned in values, expectations, and leadership, as opposed to not being on the same page. Parenting in your ideal life isn't about perfection, it's about connection, teamwork with your partner, and creating a family dynamic where guidance and growth are regularly experienced. So write down those qualities that you wish to embody in correlation with your parenting role in your ideal life. Now, the seventh pillar centers around your romantic relationship or partnership. Are you staying connected with your spouse or partner? A year from now, how does communication feel? Is it cleaner, more respectful, more emotional safety? Do you feel more like teammates than adversaries? Is there a sense of friendship, warmth, or shared humor between the two of you? Can you envision going on more date nights together? Or just further strengthening that partnership and bond? Are you growing together in the year ahead? with shared goals? Is the trust rebuilding? Or maybe you just want to experience a little more appreciation, feel a little more accepted, or maybe you just want to feel a little more heard or understood. What about intimacy? Do you envision more physical closeness, emotional openness, and mutual desire? Write down those preferences that you want your ideal relationship to look like and add them to this ideal life compilation. Now, the eighth pillar brings awareness to your spiritual growth and inner grounding. What does connection look like here? Whether through faith, meditation, prayer, reflection, how do you tend to your inner grounding? That might possibly include living in an anchored, oriented lifestyle that slows things down rather than just constant urgency. Are you a part of a group or practice that supports this dimension in your life? Perhaps this season invites you to step outside your comfort zone and explore joining a community group, a church, or spiritual space that supports your growth. Spiritual clarity often provides perspective. Everything else feels noisy. It grounds growth in something deeper than just productivity. Now, the ninth pillar invites us to consider any major achievements or meaningful experiences that you'd like to have in the year ahead. Fast forward to next January. What do you want to say you've completed in the year before? What experiences would you like to have lived? That might include a vacation or travel, completing creative projects, or going for that certification that you've been putting off. It may also include simply following through on some major commitments that you have said you're going to make for several years. Accomplishment isn't just about doing more to stay busy, it's about finishing what matters. Now, the 10th pillar highlights balance, rest, and play. In your ideal life, balance isn't something that you earn after everything is done. It's something that you intentionally protect while life is happening. Consider how your daily calendar allows for recovery, lightness, and enjoyment, rather than just constant output. Reflect on whether your schedule has a little margin for rest or spontaneity or play, especially with kids. Sometimes we kind of get on this to-do list. I know I struggle with that of clean the house, do this, fix dinner, help with the homework, da 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 da. And our kid comes up to us and, Daddy, can you play with me? No, I've got all these things to do. Does your schedule allow for a little bit of flexibility? Incorporates more play? Or is it so packly tight that tension becomes the default state? Ask yourself how you unwind. How do you reset after a demanding moments? And whether your nervous system actually gets a break or not. Balance also includes permission to enjoy life without the guilt. To laugh, play, and rest without feeling so behind. Write those components down of how you want to incorporate more balance and play in the year ahead. An ideal life makes room, not just for the productivity, but for pleasure, presence, and renewal. We're able to charge our batteries. That makes us even more so able to do the things that we want to do. A study by the name of Dr. Gail Matthews at the Dominican University of California found that individuals who wrote down their goals are 33% more likely to accomplish those goals than those who just stated them. 33%. That sounds like a pretty good return on investment. I mean, consider the stock market. Thinking about taxes and inflation, overall, you're looking about a 6 or 7% ROI. Bumping that up to 33%, you could get some shit done with that kind of return on your investment. Now, when individuals write down their goals and share them with someone, an outside source of accountability, this could be a friend, family member, a spouse, even a coach, the chances of them completing those goals that they shared dramatically increase. Having someone who helps you stay consistent can raise that success rate from the 33% of just writing a goal down to 76%. Now that you've gone through and written down these top 10 pillars that hold up your ideal life, I want you to place them somewhere visible. Place these intentions somewhere where you're going to see them every day. Could be a bathroom mirror, a refrigerator. Mine is in the bathroom. When I sit down, it's staring me right in the face every morning. I get to pick one of these and read it. Essentially, it's reminding you daily of the person that you're becoming. And if you have a special someone in your life with whom you're actively growing alongside, I encourage you to share your ideal life with one another. Let your partner know the person you're becoming in the year ahead. Stating your goals out loud, exchanging ideas, making your intentions known, these transform those silent hopes to shared commitments. This is going to dramatically increase the likelihood that you will follow through and bring your ideal life into reality. You become a witness to each other's growth and an ally in each other's progress. That shared awareness doesn't just keep you aligned, it deepens your connection. It strengthens your partnership and allows the two of you to grow alongside one another. I often share with the couples that I work with that personal growth can be a dangerous thing within a relationship. It becomes risky when growth happens in isolation. If one partner is stretching outside their comfort zone, learning, evolving, intentionally becoming better, while the other remains stagnant, the distance between the two slowly and quietly widens. Now, one of the most overlooked dynamics of sharing your dreams or goals with a partner is that how they respond to one another's dreams. When someone opens up and communicates the direction they want to grow, essentially what's really going on is they're offering the other person vulnerability. Discouraging a partner's goals, even subtly, can unintentionally communicate doubt, fear, and a lack of belief in them. Now listen, growth doesn't require identical dreams, but it does require emotional safety. Supporting your partner's aspirations, even when they stretch beyond your comfort zone, signals trust, confidence, and a willingness to grow alongside them. When both people feel free to dream without being minimized, alignment becomes easier and connection naturally deepens. Okay, what if the other partner is not on the same page I do? What if they don't really show a lot of enthusiasm in growing and goals and working towards getting out of your comfort zone? Well, if you're sharing your ideal life with them and they tend to discourage your goals or growth, It's good to consider that it might not be out of ill intent, rather an insecurity on their part. And if you're met with that kind of lack of support, we need to separate out your growth and goals with their defensiveness and fear, because that's what it boils down to. Still affirm your goals without over explaining or seeking permission. You can invite curiosity by asking them what specifically concerns them, while also sticking with your boundaries around respect and tone. Most importantly, stay grounded in your own direction. You don't need a unanimous approval to move forward, but you do need to communicate honestly. Growth within a relationship isn't about shrinking your dreams to keep the peace. It's about learning how to hold space for both support and differences while still staying connected. Morgan and I have a yearly tradition that we genuinely look forward to. Our first date of the year is always fondue. We dress up, go out to our favorite fondue restaurant, enjoy a four-course fine dining meal, but more intentionally create a space for one another to share our ideal life and intentions in the year ahead. That night is more than just a date night. It's a reset. It brings clarity around each other's goals, naturally kicking off that planning process, and adds a layer of shared accountability, which builds momentum right out of the gate. It truly puts the icing on the cake for us because we start the year aligned, connected, and moving towards our growth together. I can't recommend this highly enough. Look, a year from now will pass regardless. The question is, where are you going to arrive a year from now? And are you going to arrive somewhere intentionally or accidentally? This isn't about New Year's resolutions. It's about identity, alignment, and follow through. Now, if you'd like some support clarifying your ideal life and translating it into a sustainable strategies of daily decisions you can make, I invite you to click the link in the description box below. You can book a complimentary call with me where we walk together through these 10 pillars to give you a vision of the person you want to become a year from now. If you got some value from this episode, please click that like button. You could subscribe to my channel on a monthly basis. I put out new videos on relationship tools to help us stay connected. So let's stay connected by remembering that growth becomes more powerful when it is shared. The new year is not about fixing yourself. It's about choosing who you want to be and living in alignment with that choice one day at a time.